Yes, what did you say? What did you do? What did you think? Coming to you with another video, and today I'm thinking about giving a tip. The Hells Rangers content that is in the full game uh, is really cool because the thing is that it's in a separate part of your stash, uh, referenced as your inbox. So if you have the Hell's Rangers content and you load up your character and you get to the point where you can craft, um, you also too need to be level 10 in order to access this material. You'll see your um, content here in your character, uh, character stash. Now the thing is that in order to use it, you need to be level 10. Technically, you can actually access it as soon as you have access to your stash. You can actually pull this material, pull this content, and put it in your inventory of your character. And from there, you can actually transfer it to your stash, your regular aspect of your stash. Which, as you can see here, I have another set of the Earthborn Renegades boots, which is part of the Hell's Rangers content. So, see, I'm with my Pyromancer Outrider right here, and see, here's my inbox. And as you can see, here are the boots that come with this character. So, the tip I'm giving here is how to get more of these items in your inventory for any particular reason that you might want. For example, if you're trying to level up a particular item and you're looking for a particular mod combination, and really that's what it's going to be about. All of your attributes will always be the same. The mods that come with the gear will always be the same in weapons. But when you go to take this rare to epic in the crafting, you might want, they're going to give you a random option of 3 mods to choose from. And, depending on what you might want as far as your combination of mods, you might want to be more discerning as to what you get because you can only replace one of the 2 mods that will come available once this becomes an epic level gear. And also, too, you might want to run with more of a particular weapon, like you might want to run with 2 automatic assault rifles, or you might want to run with 2 pump action shotguns, whatever, or you might want to have different combinations of your mods in these weapons, as because you like the style of them as well as the gear. So basically, what you do in order to get um, as many of these as you want, as many of the boots or the, like, for example, I have some extra weapons here, so automatic shotgun because I like the life leech as a primary um, attribute. What you do is essentially um, you go ahead and you return to your lobby. You need an extra character for this. So, have an extra slot open. You can have up to 6. For me, I have this last one here available to basically produce extra Hell's Rangers content for my characters because of, my preference and style, how I might want the mods to come about, etc., etc. So I'm going to show you this real quick here, how this particular character still has access to the stash. Now, the thing you want to keep in mind is that you cannot delete or dismantle any of the Hell's Rangers content. So you can't take advantage of it in a way where you can dismantle it and get mods for all your various different characters, unfortunately. But you can use it, that particular piece of gear, as much as you want. You can raise it to the next level of being epic. You can do any of the other aspects in regard to crafting except for dismantling the item. And you'll notice how it has a a lock, in the left hand corner, right under the name, you'll see like a lock, black lock. That means that you cannot uh, dismantle it. As you see, if I'm trying to dismantle it now or mark it to be this item, it says item locked. But the thing is, you can draw from this area as much as you might want for weapons or for gear. So say, I like, oh well, I kind of like these gloves. I might get used to the gloves. I might like the gun. So as you see, I just selected that, even though I can't equip it right now for my character because my character is not level 10. Uh, so see, I can't equip it. And see, here's another pair of gloves, and that's from another time when I was transferring gear, and I thought I was going to use the gloves, but I changed my mind. Either way, in order to get rid of this kind of gear with the lock on it, because you can't dismantle it, which means you can't, um, destroy it in your stash. You can't destroy it in your inventory. Essentially, you need this extra character that generates this extra gear for your other characters to delete the um, items that you might not want, for example, or say you got the wrong combination of something, or you leveled up something in some way that you don't care to have anymore, or you have no more use for it. Whatever your circumstance, basically, I'm trying to see here. Um, so it's in your backpack right now. So say you take this and you put it in your stash, and you then um, log out. We'll go back to the main menu, log into a different character, and I'll show you these steps here. So, say I want to take those gloves. I put it in my stash. I can go to any one of the characters that I want to use. We'll go back to the Pyromancer, for example, and they're having some little issue right now where you can't see your weapons right away. So I'll load up the Pyromancer, and when I get to the Pyromancer, I'll see that in my stash, I have access to those gloves that I just took out of the inventory of that extra character. And you'll notice that I still have all of my other gear.
The cryopod I found you in was in an old medical lab near the river. You should start searching
Okay.
there.
So we go to the stash, and you go to wherever you put what you want to get out. There are the gloves right here. So I can take those gloves, put them in my stash, go to my backpack, for example. Okay, I got the point. And so there they are. So again, you back out, you'll see what I'm talking about. Here are those gloves. I can equip them, no problem, and take full advantage of them. As far as the use of them or modding them, you can go over to what I believe his name is Zahid.
Just because you haven't found any other Outriders yet, that doesn't mean they're not still out there.
I believe that's his name. Anyway, you go over to your crafting guy here. You go to upgrade gear. You can then, click on whatever it is you want to upgrade from the Hell's Rangers content or whatever. And, you can improve the rarity. It'll have a cost for that. You can raise the attributes. And it looks like you're able to raise any one of the three. There was a little bug, it seemed like, when the game first came out, the full release, where it apparently looked like you couldn't raise each one of these attributes, but apparently you can now, which is good. I guess they fixed whatever that issue was, which kind of blocked you out. It seemed like you could actually only raise one primary attribute, but they're allowing you to raise any one of these three attributes because you have a shard next to them. You can go ahead and mod the gear if you want. Switch out whatever for whatever you want. You can level it up as well. So, but the only thing you can't do is delete the gear. That's the one thing you just can't do. Um, just trying to look here. So yeah, so because see how this has a shard next to max health, typically for an item you can only raise that primary attribute. But because the gear from the Hell's Rangers content has shards on each one of these attributes, you can actually raise all three of them. And like I said, at first you couldn't do that. Um, when but there was some kind of bug, and I was like, that's kind of lame. You got to actually figure out which is the primary attribute, even though all three seem to be primary attributes. But like I said, luckily you fixed it, so you can raise all three of these, which is unprecedented. There's no other gear in the game where you can raise all three attributes. So that's one of the benefits of the Hell's Rangers content. Uh, that's even different than a legendary item. You can't even do that with a legendary item, and I'll show you real quick what I'm talking about. So, like, here's this Golem's limb that I got from the demo. You go over here to the crafting, and you put that in. So, see how close range is the primary attribute when you go to raise attributes. Oh, see, that wasn't the case earlier yet when the Full Grid release came out either. Okay, well, I stand corrected. I stand corrected. They updated this too, because this wasn't the case before. You can raise all three attributes on a legendary item. This was not the case before. I'm not sure if that's the case for epics. I don't have an epic, unfortunately, to be able to determine that. But you'll find out soon enough. But yeah, like I said, here's a um, rare item, but when you go to raise the attributes, you can only do the one. Um, and here's another example where you've got two attributes, but you know you can actually raise both attributes. That's so weird. It wasn't showing that earlier. Well, take care with this. If you're having issues trying to raise attributes, just give it another shot. And it looks like apparently you can raise your attributes regardless of uh, if it has more than one, or even if it has an anomaly shard next to it. I feel like that. I thought for sure you couldn't, but it looks like you can. So don't be surprised if you can't. Again, like I said, it was something weird with the game where I couldn't before. But again, when it comes to this Hell's Rangers content, which is what this is really about here, at first you couldn't raise all three, and now you can. So just bear in mind, this could be a glitch. It may not be. It could be a programming error. It may not be. Just be observant of this fact as time goes on, because it could potentially change. But at the moment, as of the April 1st here, the first full day of the game release, um, you can raise each one of these attributes. So back to the point here, and a way of getting this extra gear into your account, and using your extra character for that purpose. And again, like I said, you cannot delete uh, items from your inventory or your stash that have this lock from the Hell Rangers content. So again, you want to put it back in your stash if you want to get rid of it. You then want to go to your extra character that you created to generate the extra Hellraisers content for your other characters. And like I said, as you can see, I have not touched the Hellraisers content for that character at all. Matter of fact, I haven't done it for any of the other characters, because I've been pulling from this extra one. I want to leave it untouched just in case I ever have to access it, or in case they decide to change this element. And you can always farm your Hellraisers content this way. But you'd have to go to your extra character again, Um, because you say you want to get rid of what didn't work out for you, or you have no more use for it, whatever your reason, in which case you want to get rid of the content, and you want to load it onto your this extra character, and then you want to delete this character. That's the way to get rid of any Hellraiser's content that you don't want anymore for whatever the reason. But the beauty is that you can recreate this character, or any character for that matter, um, and uh, get a whole new set of Hellraiser's gear. So I'm going to take this out of the stash, put it in my backpack. So as you can see, I got 2 sets of gloves in there that I'm going to delete. Um, so you can back out, and then what you do is you go to the return to the lobby, as I said before. You then go ahead and delete that character. And like I said, if there's Hellraiser's content you want to get rid of, delete the character. Even if there isn't, and you just want to generate more content for more options in your mod pairing, for example, um, or you want to have duplicates of the circumstance because you want to double gun it, whatever your circumstance is, you want to then, like I said, delete this character. And then what you want to do is create a character again, however you want to do it. These are my options for my characters. I actually have them all looking the same. It's part of my role playing thing I've been doing with the game. It's a whole separate issue. It's just, and keep in mind too, when you're doing character creations, you can't change the character name at the moment. So, um, you know, if you have some particular purpose for the character, try to figure out what that might be before naming the character and going through the trouble of leveling it up. But you're the only one that actually sees the character's name on your screen. If you're broadcasting, of course, other people would see the name, or if you upload a video or something with your gameplay, they would see the name. But other players who come into the game that you may play with in co-op don't see your character's name. They see your gamer ID. So what I do is create that new character. I say yes, skip the prologue. I choose my ability. For me, when I do this, I always choose the trickster because in my role playing, I'm playing with time, and the trickster is sort of a quantum character, time bending. And then just hit continue with game. Now you'll have to run through the beginning of the prologue, or rather the last segment of the prologue, when you're dropped off at the battlefield. But you can run through this in no time at all. You'll see what you see. You'll see me do it in a second here.
Get out of here.
It's really not a big deal, and you can just rinse and repeat this scenario as much as you want to your heart's content, as much space or stash that you have to want to take up with the point of any of this. And but because I'm gonna keep an eye on the point of being able to raise all 3 of the attributes once you level up a piece of gear. If it turns out that this is some kind of bug, or it's something that's unintended, then hopefully they won't take it from us or nerf our gear, but they may do so. Like I said, because when the game first, the full release of the game came about, and I had access to crafting, I could not raise all of the attributes on something that had more than one attribute on it. It would only allow me to raise the primary attribute. The rest was it was redded out. But now, when you go into your crafting, it apparently allows you to level up all 3 attributes. But I believe you still only have one primary attribute, and that's going to be the one that has your highest values. And I don't believe that's going to change or randomly adjust as you level it up. So I believe that's still going to be an aspect of farming that people will want to take into account. You might want to take that into account too in regard to your use of the Hell Rangers content. Like for me, I like the look of a lot of stuff, but I really rely on Life Leech for my gameplay. And Life Leech is not really available in a lot of the weapons. You might have Heal and Return maybe, which only comes about after you kill an enemy. But like if I'm fighting a boss, I want to be able to continue to get health prior to the death of the boss, you know, and stay alive. That's just my gameplay tactic, and so I'm not going to probably use all the Hell Rangers content. And you know, of course, with the gear, you know, I have certain objectives in regard to that too, in the way that I might want to build my character, and you know, you're always going to get the same primary attributes on the Hell's Rangers gear, no matter what character you choose. So it might not match up to what you want to have. You might want to have in mind, or you might just have to adjust around it, depending if you have a mix. You have a mixed batch of gear that you have on. Like I have a mixed batch of gear that I have on because I'm kind of a fashionista. I want to look a particular way, and I'm sure that's going to adjust as time goes on. But as you can see, I just finished the beginning of the prologue, Lickety Split. Now you just run over here to your stash.
Haven't you done something about them already?
Honestly, because their black market keeps our soldiers happy.
And
They're not eating their own fucking kids
oops.
like the insurgents we're fighting out there.
Yeah,
Run over to your stash, and as you can see, when I go to my inbox, I have a full case of Hell's Rangers content yet again that I can go ahead and pull from and add to my stash, which, you know, like I said, when you pull from it initially, it's going to go to your sort of I'm looking for it. It's going to go to your backpack of your character. So, you know, you'll see the gloves in your backpack. But even from this screen right here, you don't have to keep back in and out of this stash. You can just hit this button and it's going to put it in your stash right under gloves. See, there it is. So I'll show you how, like, there's no boots. Well, there is a pair of boots in here now, but I'm going to go to my backpack and take the boots I just put in there and put them in my stash. So now I have two pairs of boots. Or like the pants that I threw in there. You know, there's no pants in my stash right now. But the backpack of this character I just created and took from its inbox the pants. There are the Hell's Rangers pants. Click on that. Now I have Hell's Rangers pants in my stash that I can transfer to my other characters. So, you know, you can do that for all the weapons, all the gear, and, you know, it's a wonderful thing. And that's how I've been, you know, outfitting my characters in the ways that, you know, because I like for all my characters to have the same thing, to wear the same thing. I don't know if that's really going to always be the case, but right now I can do that. And, you know, I might have an optional outfit, maybe one of the legendary situations where, you know, I want to get the set bonus and, you know, I can't have all the characters looking the same at that point. But yeah, so see how this weapon here has Life Leech as its primary attribute, and you can tell by the bigger value that's sitting there. But you know, I like that aspect for the shotgun. Like I said, so my weapons here you can see how I have 3 of them sitting in here. And, these aren't taken from any of the characters I'm leveling up. These were taken from the inbox of the extra character that I created. Like I have a idea that I might decide to do where I run with I double gun this, dual wield 2 of these, submachine guns, maybe on the Trickster or something like that, or the Devastator, um, along with, dual wielding, uh, you know, the pistols, for example. I like the look of that. But I might do something like that. I don't know. I think that's just a real sexy gun. It doesn't have my life leech as a primary attribute, but it's on there. And like I said, when you look at this here, not everything's going to have life leech. Not everything's going to have what you may particularly want, which, may put a hamper on what you may want to take from this, or you may have to adjust the point. So that's my tip on how to get multiple items from your Hell Rangers content on to any one of your characters, is to create, this extra character. And, it's just going through the motions there. There's nothing in my inventory from that. Well, actually, I guess there still is here. Let me put that in the stash. That's right. I took it out the inbox and it landed my book back. So yeah, so we take that, boom, 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 goes into the stash, range everything by name so you can see, bam. And so, say I might want to decide to run with a dual wield automatic shotguns, bam, I can go ahead and do that, level this up to an epic level, have 2 mod slots in there, and you always get a choice of a 3rd mod slot. So you might want to keep Claymore, or you're looking for a particular mod in your 3rd slot that you're going to generate randomly. So you want to, so therefore you can change the Claymore out with what you might want, because then you can control it, your option a little bit better that way. So that's my tip for today. I got to put my Golem's limb back in here. And, I wish everybody luck and lots of fun. And I hope this all works out for you. And enjoy. Give me a thumbs up, a little like if it helped you out. I mean, I'd appreciate it. I'm looking forward to trying to, do well on the broadcasting here with things. And it's this has actually been a rather refreshing joy. So I'm going to close it out from here. And you all take care. High five. Where is the hello? Oh, I don't have my options set up for my goodbye. Well, you get the point. I'll catch you all next time.